big group of attendees joining us from all across the country. So thank you all for being here tonight. Super excited to spend the next hour with you guys, and feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat, where you're calling in from, what your name and pronouns are. Before we jump into the session today, just want to let everybody know, hi, I'm Savannah. I'm Avi's campaign manager. It's been the thrill of my year to be able to participate in such an incredible momentum building campaign. Really proud of the work that we've been doing, really proud of the communities we've been able to connect with, and the work that all of you are doing in your own communities across the country. It's been absolutely marvelous to be able to connect with so many folks. I'm calling in from Toronto. I live in Toronto. It is on traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Wendat, Pentun, and Algonquin communities, and has long been a gathering place and site of exchange and movement and relationship. And acknowledging land, of course, isn't just about naming history, but recognizing ongoing responsibilities, the systems that shape our politics, the systems that shape our economy. They were all built through and on dispossession, and those realities are not just situated in the past, they are present. They're present in housing insecurity and environmental injustice. And as we've built this campaign, we're called to do more than just acknowledge and to act in ways that support Indigenous sovereignty, honor treaty relationships, and commit to justice that is really material and not just symbolic. So that responsibility sits with all of us, and informs how we organize and how we connect with folks across the country. So as we imagine a future that's truly shared, just wanted to make some space for that in the call. Please let us know where you're calling in from, name, pronoun, location. And let's jump into it. I do want to, let folks know we're really excited to be here to spend some time with you all and to ground ourselves in where our campaign lies in this important political moment. If you are just jumping in, my name is Savannah. I'm Avi's campaign manager, and I'm really excited to share space with Avi and Naomi tonight, and to come together and build on the momentum that our mass mobilizing opportunity all across the country presents for us. We have over 500 people already, and still trickling in,
Holy
over 1,000.
moly.
Oh, I know. And over 1,000 RSVPs for the event tonight. There's real momentum in this moment. Our campaign is really receiving so much support and so much care, and you absolutely feel it. Over the past weeks, we've been able to organize. We've been organizing really hard, showing up in communities, having thousands of conversations, and building a really strong national team that's energized, that's serious, and ready to fight for the future that we deserve. We've brought in new people to the NDP. We've re-engaged members who have left the party, and throughout all this work, we're hearing, whether it's in a Zoom call or at a town hall, that Canadians have a deep appetite for bold, hopeful, and unapologetic politics that really meet the scale of the moment that we're in. We're hearing time and again on the ground that people are tired of politics that manage the decline that we're facing, and are looking for leaders that speak honestly about the crisis we're facing and that are willing to organize around real solutions. People are looking for leadership rooted in solidarity, built on courage, and that trusts ordinary people like all of us to be a shared architect of the change that we're building here together. So that's the work that we've been able to do this year. We're really proud of it. We're really excited for next year. And we're so happy to have you all on this call. So welcome. Welcome, everyone. Okay, enough from me. I'm also excited to introduce the next leader of the federal NDP, Avi Lewis, and Naomi Klein, a generationally talented author and journalist whose work has influenced and shaped global justice movements for decades. So, welcome, you guys. Hey, happy
Hey,
holidays.
happy halls, everyone. I
Hi,
want to,
Savannah.
yeah, just want to send love out to everyone struggling with a storm tonight.
Yeah.
I just was reading, there's like ice storms in Ontario and Quebec and big blizzards everywhere north. And so whoever is out there struggling or losing power or whatever, just sending warmth, a candlelight, shared candlelight to everyone out there who probably isn't on the call because they're struggling with storm conditions. But yeah, this is really thrilling to see so many people in a holiday week with nasty weather gathering together. I know so many people in the chat.
I know the chat is very distracting. It's so Canadian. It's so national. It's beautiful. Yeah. Happy holidays. I can attest to the fact that these folks took maybe a day and a half off over the holidays. Savannah, you are incredible. It just has done such a and like we are just so blown away by your organizational capacity and just feel really lucky. Avi says every day how lucky he feels that you stepped into this leadership role. So yeah, meet Savannah. Those of you who haven't met her yet,
Yeah.
we are so lucky, and it's a big part of the reason why we're doing as well as we are. And there's so many wonderful organizers in this campaign, and who've been part of our lives for a really long
Yeah.
time. And yeah, it's so great. Thanks for spending part of your holidays with us. I hope some of you are still on holiday.
We're
There's a
gonna
birthday in the chat. Did you
There's a
see that?
birthday. I saw the birthday. Happy birthday to the birthday person. And
Jerome.
Jerome. Was it Jerome? Someone went by
Yes.
quickly.
Happy
So
birthday, Jerome.
grateful to spend a little birthday time together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think, these are heavy and cartoonishly awful times that we live in. Naomi's writing a book about end times fascism. We're out there fighting with actual fascists on the front lines of politics in Canada. And yet, there is so much joy and community in this campaign and so much positivity as people find something to come together around that feels good while we're doing it. So in the very short term, when we do this work together, people feel better to connect and struggle around the politics that we really need in this moment. And so I think we're going to have some silliness tonight, Savannah, right? As well as
Yeah.
as some of the hardcore, strife and politics that we're always engaged with.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to just let us warm up on this cold day with a bit of getting to know each other.
It's Smoke.
So
Smoke
it's Smoke.
cameo.
Oh, our Muppet. We have a very silly dog. We're
This-
serious people with a very unserious dog. Her name is Smoke.
I think we like she's a repository for all of our silliness that is not part of our public personas. The most
We should have,
ridiculous creature.
if we knew, I would have brushed her if I knew she was going
She
to be on
doesn't want to
camera.
be brushed.
She's got burrs in her
She's
beard.
happy.
Anyway,
She's
that's
giving
Smoke.
like Rolf from the Muppets. And if anybody says like, I'm
Pure
imagining a
Muppet.
piano in front of you guys.
Pure Muppet energy.
We always say she just wants to be included. And this,
Yeah,
She's
of
happy.
course, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I told Avi this once. She kind of looks like she is like a woman that's been transformed into a dog through a magic spell. She kind of got like a very human like energy to her. Like, and yeah, that's the vibe that Smoke gives to me when I see
I'm
her on
glad
these
to hear that
calls.
because she often gets misgendered. For some reason, people think Smoke is a male,
No kissing.
a male element.
No kissing.
Oh, well.
She's beyond
Um,
gender, our Smoke.
All right.
Okay,
You want it
let's.
silly? There you
I
have
want silly. Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So a lot of folks are probably traveling. I'm imagining there's people maybe calling in from the airport right now, canceled flights and snowstorms and all of that. So I think the two of you have, I think it's safe to say, done a fair share of traveling throughout your careers and filmmaking and book tours and traveling all around the world. So I am willing to bet that you've got at least a one airport moment that makes you absolutely
Oh my
furious to
God.
even think about. So I would love for you to share with us all today, what's your worst airport horror story?
I mean, I just want to say Air Canada. That's it. Like anytime it says Air Canada, I'm ready for a disaster, which is while we're getting high speed rail to like, so how long it will take you to get across this giant country.
I don't
We
think
got to
that's fair. I
renationalize
think
it.
there's some American airlines that are way worse than
Yeah,
Air
it's true. But
Canada.
who's
Like,
taken an American airline in the last
I'm just
3
saying,
years?
like
Yeah.
American Airlines, like,
Yeah.
remember how happy we were when we came back from the States and we actually got to go on Air Canada? Yeah.
I know, but the shine is totally off. We must renationalize it so that we can
Yeah.
have empty middle seats between an aisle and a window once again, and not everything is crammed for maximum profit extraction. But we did think about
Yeah.
a really good travel nightmare. It wasn't a nightmare. It was just like an emblem.
Yeah.
When was it?
I think it was 2008.
Yeah.
It was 2008. Shock Doctrine was out, and we were in Latin America. We'd gone to Chile, Argentina, Bolivia. We were mixing it with research and film, and it was like a ridiculous schedule, and I was also on deadline. Oh yeah, okay.
Well, I had quit my job to be your tour manager, and this has been between Santiago and La Paz. right? We were trying to get to Bolivia.
And I was on a column deadline, and I was sitting on a cart. It looks like I was sitting on a cart, just trying to file
Yeah.
using airport Wi-Fi.
17 years ago. Just Naomi
I
writing a
barely
quick
leave the
column.
house now, and I do not miss it. Do you have a good one, Savannah?
Um, I have slept in a number of airports. I've certainly had my fair share of flight cancellations. I have definitely one time I was traveling from the south to the north of Thailand, got onto a train with my friend, immediately went to sleep, and realized 11 hours later I had traveled in the wrong direction. Completely in the wrong direction. Woke up in the wrong side of the country. We were supposed to be meeting up with friends. It took us 3 days to get back to where our friends were. Half our vacation was over. But
Wow.
we had a hell of a lot of fun on that trip. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely one of the worst ones for me.
Solid.
Mm,
Solid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Avi,
How
thank you
have you
for
missed Thailand?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I went to school there, went to did my undergrad there for as an exchange student for a number of years. So this photo is a gift. And speaking
Yeah.
of gifts, I think that gifts are a high risk, high reward opportunity. So folks on the call might not know this, but you guys have been together for many, many, many years. How long have you been together now?
30 years.
30 years.
Hmm.
From 19, we got together in 1995. So it's
Wow,
30
Yeah.
years this year. Yeah.
30 years.
It's young.
Holy.
It's young love. We're just in the first chapter
Yeah,
still. This is
it's the
new.
honeymoon
It's
Yeah.
all
phase.
new.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 What is, you guys have been married for decades. Okay, so what's the best gift that you have ever received from each other?
Okay, one good thing about maybe one of the secrets to our long-term compatibility is we both don't really care about special occasions. We celebrate them when we feel them rather than when like the arbitrary date decides. So we're not that solid on like Hanukkah moves around, birthdays move around, anniversaries we sometimes
I
remember
know.
after.
I feel like my parents are in the chat, and they can attest to this, that they're
Yes.
always reminding us when our
They're like,
anniversary is.
what are you doing for your anniversary? And we're like, what anniversary? But we
Oh,
have
we
marked the
should be
big
more.
ones. We have marked the big ones.
Yeah, so we don't we generally our family policy is like kids get holiday presents,
Yeah.
but not really grown-ups.
Yeah.
So we do the kids, um, and but we do big birthdays. Yeah, the best present I ever got from Avi was, and I apologize to the rest of the country. It's a very West Coast thing, but a paddleboard.
A
A
really nice one.
paddleboard, very nice, and I just love it so much, and it made me very very happy. It was for a big birthday. I don't remember which one, but it was big.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
big. It was a round number.
Yes.
And it was
What?
also it was the one that we kind of
Yeah.
lost actually.
Yes.
The
I
ocean
blame climate
took it.
change.
The ocean took it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
not
I mourn it.
totally secured.
Yeah.
You loved the hell out of it while you had it.
Yeah.
I still have the biggest present, the most beautiful present Naomi ever gave me. When I turned 40, I got a beautiful National Steel guitar for playing slide. And I'm still feeling unworthy of the instrument. That's how beautiful it is. But it's like made of chrome and it's kind of Art Deco. And it's a beautiful thing. And now Toma's starting to
Yeah.
get interested in it. So it's cool. As you know,
Oh,
Sav, you
that's
hang a
great.
guitar on the wall long enough, and someone who really knows how to play will show up and make it sing.
I'm being
That's the
schooled.
dream.
I'm being schooled by Marilyn that paddleboards are everywhere now. Good point.
Yeah, good
I
point,
just
good
feel like it's very obnoxiously West Coast to just cherish your paddleboard as much as I do.
Well, it's not
But
like
good point, Marilyn.
I mean,
Everyone has paddleboards.
I think doing yoga on a paddleboard might be a little West Coast.
They even can do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Toma, for folks that don't know, Toma's your guys' son. So just tell us a bit about his. I'm sure he's probably in the background somewhere, or somewhere in the house. But you guys have a 13-year-old son, and I'm sure that you've spent a lot of great holiday memories with him. So give us a taste of your favorite holiday memory with Toma.
Oh, it's just about he's a latke monster.
Yeah.
So for at Hanukkah, I make my grandma Lee's latkes. I've been making them every year for the last maybe 10 or something like that. So I'm
Avi
kind
makes
of
the best latkes.
I'm
Well,
getting-
Avi's mom makes the best latkes.
because my grandma made the best latkes. And the secret is, I'm just going to share it. Whatever your latke recipe is, you're frying potatoes in oil, so you can't go wrong. But
Right.
if you separate the eggs and you whip the egg whites till they have a nice stiff peak and you fold them back into the latke batter before you fry them, they're light and fluffy. Sometimes of their own volition, they will just levitate out of the frying pan and into the air and just hover above you. Look like clouds, like fried potato clouds. Anyway, Toma just devours latkes.
It's more important to him than any physical, than any non-consumable.
Yeah. So like I think Hanukkah has become sort of like a contest between everyone and Toma over who can eat the most latkes. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So I've written that down. Fold them in for levitation.
Yeah, fold in for
Latkes. Got it.
levitation. Yes,
Perfect.
you also
Okay.
need
Great.
an eight sider to know how many rounds the latke spell lasts for. So just mark that down for
We're
the.
just procrastinating
Okay.
before we talk about politics because it's
Great.
just over. But we'll get there, guys. We'll get
Yeah,
there. Don't you
exactly. We
worry.
will. We will. Yeah, I mean, thanks for indulging me in my lifelong dream of being a late night talk show host. As you know, Avi, it was written in my contract that you had to let me do this at least once. So
Exactly.
that
Check.
has been fulfilled. This has been, it was a demand of mine. So I appreciate that very much. And I also appreciate the fact that 2025 has felt like 100,000 years long. And, I just want to pass it over to you guys and to take us a little bit through a journey of looking back and then also peering forward. So, biggest moments of 2025 and the opportunities on the horizon in the new year. And I'm going to
I
disappear and hand it over to you guys for a little
Cool.
bit.
Yeah, because I want you to, will you share a little bit about your research and stuff like that? But I can set it up
Yeah.
because I had like a minor league revelation the other day. This is going to sound painfully obvious saying it out loud, but I was talking to Toma about Carney and about AI. He's really interested in the subject, and I kind of realized that from when we were covering like the crash of 2008, and we had to learn a lot about derivatives and the stock market, and I had this understanding that the stock market loves instability. So this thing of how people on Bay Street got paid $27.3 billion in performance-based pay this year and a 15% raise for the traders, for the stock analysts, for the investment bankers. They did so well because our country's economy was in turmoil and utterly, and everyone else was struggling massively this year. The bankers love that instability because they're always chasing where the big money is. And so I just had this realization about Carney. His climate, transformation from climate banking guy to throwing all that climate policy overboard this year, he's just following where the money is. And in the climate strike moment in 2016, 2018, when climate awareness was surging, there was lots of money to be made in appearing green, and that's where he was. He was in the spot where the money was flowing. Now that money is in the Trump era, all going back away from that. All of those banks he put together in his big, global finance coalition just all bailed as soon as they could. It was revealed to be complete greenwashing. And now he's chasing after AI. Mm-hmm. And he's tying our economy with the MOU with Danielle Smith. It includes a lot of energy, fossil fuel and electricity going to support these data centers and the AI bubble. And that's where there's trillions of dollars of wealth sloshing around in the billionaire pool. And so it makes sense that as a banker, he's going to reformat our economic direction to where all the money's being made. And that's a part of the secret of the AI. Now, you've been going deep in this in your End Times Fascism book, which you're writing with Astra Taylor, which just got announced a couple weeks ago, is going to come out in September. So in the 2025-2026 fulcrum where we're at, what can you tell us about what you've been learning about how this is reshaping our world?
Yeah. So, I think a moment that was really telling about what we were in for with Carney was the speed of the capitulation on the digital services tax. You remember that? Sort of like that was the moment where, like, I think all sort of ideas around elbows up just dropped, right? I mean, he barely felt like he needed to explain it. And that was such a modest way of standing up to these big tech companies. We all experience what they're doing to our information ecology, where we can't even link to outside news sources. It's dangerous in all kinds of ways, particularly during big disasters. Like we've got an ice storm coming and people
Right.
go online and they're looking for information and they have dead links where they're trying to get reliable information. So, he didn't stand up to them on that. And where I think we have to understand is that what I call the Trump administration and what we're actually seeing with this alliance with tech companies is that it's not just a big tech coup or like, techno-fascism, or there's different phrases people are using, but it's really specifically an AI coup. That everything Trump has done has been about unleashing the floodgates for this industry, and he's doing it for a bunch of reasons. One, he's personally profiting. He's personally profiting from crypto. He's personally profiting from AI. He just merged his Truth Social media company with
Nuclear fusion.
I mean, it's
Excuse
just
me.
the corruption is wild. But the thing that has emerged from my research is that the reason why he got excited about AI, because he used to actually be very skeptical about it, he was skeptical about crypto too, was when it was explained to him, and this was pretty deep into his campaign, that AI would be, and this is a quote, an electricity eating monster. And he understood, his favorite industry is fossil fuels, it's coal, it's gas, it's oil, that at this time when there was starting to be a global shift to renewables, he could extend a lifeline to this industry.
Wow.
And now Carney is doing it in Canada because what we've seen with LNG is that there is a gas glut, and the thing that is changing it is the fact that we are feeding so much energy into this industry, into this glitchy AI. I saw somebody using Cory Doctorow's shitification term, right? And I think this is how we have to think about the industry, is that this is a bailout for fossil fuels.
Wow.
And it is also degrading public services because at the same time you have, people, the reason why people are worried about a bubble is that most people don't want to pay for this. They'll use it, but they don't actually want to pay what it costs.
It's not something anyone asked for. It's in every app and every
Right.
platform. Nobody ever asked for
So
it.
who will pay for it? Not industry, because they're also realizing that it's not doing what it's delivering. It's governments, including Canada, and public universities, paying for the very technology that is undermining, research, knowledge, reality. So it's wild stuff. And so, I'm excited about the possibilities of your campaign to connect these dots. This is a jobs issue. It's a climate issue. It's a water issue.
Well, this is where things get really interesting because you've been studying the fight back and community organizing against data centers in the United States. There are some mega projects like Musk has his Colossus AI data centers in and around Memphis, and our homegrown nasty Kevin O'Leary has what is so far just a proposal for a gigantic data center in Alberta that would, in one fell swoop, if it's ever built, and I hope it's not, erase all the progress. The modest progress that Alberta has made on climate has been retiring coal-fired electricity, and it'll put all of that amount of electricity back into play.
Yeah, and from reading the draft of my book that already it's bringing retired coal plants back online in the States. They're building out new methane burning gas plants just for data centers.
And these temporary ones, like Musk is using it as Memphis thing, which are super leaking, and it's the most damaging of greenhouse gases.
So, in Canada, we're lucky that we actually didn't do it that as simultaneously. So we actually have a minute to think.
Yeah.
And, I hope that you can help Canadians think about this.
Well,
we don't have to do the same thing.
There are dozens, if not hundreds, of data center proposals in Canada, and some already being built. There's already a fight across our Salish Sea from us in Nanaimo. There's already a fight over a data center. But tell us a little. Kamloops is a big one. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing and how you see the resistance to these data centers as maybe a hopeful front in organizing, because big tech and these maniac billionaires that you've been researching, their very dark and dystopic worldviews feel so remote and removed from our daily life. They've got their bunkers, they own our digital lives, and there's no place where we can push back on them. And that these data centers seem to be like a community struggle that is focusing the pushback on big tech in our lives in a way that could be really hopeful.
Yeah, I almost feel like they're building our coalitions for us because this technology, it at the end of the day, what is it that they're selling? They're selling, the whole goal of it is to replace workers with machines, right? With bots. So and it's not like building a factory or even building a pipeline, which is creating more jobs, right? They're kind of, in the book I call them ghost factories, right? Because they employ like security guards,
Janitors.
yeah. I mean, you have these billion-dollar investments that yield 100 jobs at the end of the day or less. So, I think it's an opportunity to mend some of, to heal some of the ruptures between the environmental movement and the labor movement, because we both, all of us, I think have very good reason to take on these technologies. So yeah,
And these
I
fights
do
are
think it's
happening at
hopeful.
like local planning
It also
boards, municipal
raises the
councils.
price of electricity. It also,
The water stress is
it's a cost of
bonkers.
living. Yeah.
Like the amount of water that these data centers need to cool the computers, and a lot of them are in water stressed areas already. Like look at Nanaimo, which has had stage 4 water alerts and serious shortages in recent years, and that's where they're choosing to put a data center.
Yeah, there's been amazing pushback in Nanaimo, some great organizing, and yeah, I mean, like we know about that where we are, whereas like you've got to be careful about any outdoor water use for 4 or 5 months of the year, and at the end of the day they're going, oh, thank you very much, you conserved water, we're going to give it to this data center. So it's really like it's life versus machines. It's just so basic. And I saw somebody in the chat saying nobody asked for this. That's exactly true. I mean, that's why they're worried about this AI bubble, and that's also something that in Canada we have to pay attention to, because folks' pensions, all kinds of our futures are tied up in these big tech stocks, right?
So you've got they.
But the reason it's a bubble is because they have spent so much more on infrastructure than they can get back in terms of sales. There is an absolutely massive gap between what people are willing.
How are they going to get trillions of dollars in revenue from this? I mean, it's a speculative bubble right now.
It's a huge bubble, and it's the highest stakes bubble we've ever seen. So I think part of what we need to do is get ready for when this pops, right? Make sure that it isn't a repeat of 2008. That's one of the things I'm looking towards in the coming year is, I think this is going to be the year where there's going to be a big market correction. And those of us who remember 2008, these are moments when things can change for the worse, but also for the better. Like it can be a moment where we ask a lot more of corporations, where we get a lot more. It can be a moment where there are nationalizations that happen. It's
like
really key that we focus on this.
When Canada ended up with seats on the board of General Motors because of the bailout.
Right. But what do you do with that power?
That's it.
Right. Do you blow it?
Yeah.
Do you just give them the money and say, okay, fine, go back to what you were doing? Or do you say, okay,
governments have leverage in moments like that. And I think the fact that we've seen this before and we're heading into another, when we see it coming, we know with this amount of money being made on Wall Street in this bubble and Bay Street and this bubble inflating, that when it pops, there's going to be huge pressure from the corporate sector for governments to bail out. And like we saw in 2008, we don't want to pay for their bailout with a decade of recession and loss of jobs and everything else and government revenue. So we have to be ready to fight on this and ready to flip it, because when they are in crisis, they are weak too, and they need government. And that's a time when we could rewrite the rules and actually start talking about regulating these big tech companies.
So I think this is partly what, folks, there's so many volunteers who are on this call and people who are going to be going out and talking to their friends, right? This is why we need people in leadership who are not afraid of thinking big, right? We live in times of serial crises, right? It might, I always say like Canadians are sort of temperamentally incrementalists, but we don't live in incremental times. Like, sorry, that's not the world that we're in. And we can't afford to blow another crisis. We just can't. So we've got to get in there, and we've got to get in there and I trust you, Avi, to do that. I really do. And this is also, it's really about popular education as well, because, for some folks, this really isn't on their radar yet.
Yeah.
But it's got to be, because this is coming. I say that with great confidence, and you all know I write books about shock. A big shock is coming. Let us get ready.
I do feel that this is a time when people need to push back on these huge shocking events and fast transformations of our society, not with like what was better was before, let's go back to the shitty normal that we had before, like with healthcare. Just the speed of privatization since the pandemic The fact that you can now pay $4,200 for a private family doctor in Ontario, right? We can't fight back against privatization of healthcare by trying to slow it down or trying to stop, the rearguard actions. We actually have to fight with a big vision of what we're already paying for with, high taxes in this country, which is head to toe healthcare. The fight
Right.
back has to be fighting for the exciting and inspiring vision that can really get people excited and into the fight rather than the shitty incremental, oh, we don't want this bad thing. We want this good
Yeah.
thing. We're
Yeah.
already pointing a fire hose of public money at corporations and at different
Exactly.
sectors. It needs to go into things that actually help people in their daily crises, especially the cost of living crisis. So that's it, Savannah. We've ended up back where we started with political ranting.
Now
That
people are like, go back to talking about your
Where's
dog.
your dog?
Yeah,
Can we see
You
exactly.
the
asked
dog
for serious.
brushed in this call?
Well, I wonder, is Smoke a member of the NDP?
Let me ask.
Because if not, maybe other folks in the space are. So we've just launched a poll. Let us know
Yeah.
in the poll, are you currently a member of the NDP? Let us know. Are you already a member? Did you buy a membership to support Avi? Are
It's
you
gonna,
going to become a member today?
it's gonna
Or are you
tactically
still making up
vote.
your mind? There's no wrong answers, just the truth. There's
Tactically.
Smoke. Okay, Smoke has returned to tell you all that we have from now until January 28th to sign up as many new members as we possibly can. The only people that are able to vote in an NDP leadership race are folks that hold active federal NDP memberships. So, in the chat, we're going to be adding a link. You can get Smoke to click that link to become a
Thank
member
you.
right now. And so, whether or not you're a
She's
member,
taking the
I
we
poll.
have
want to
other.
see the side of
Great.
you.
Smoke is becoming a member as we speak. So please do, if you're not already a member, we've got a bunch of folks in the space that are not members yet. So the number one thing that you need to do in order to support Avi's bid for NDP leadership is to become a member. You can go to http://
Wow.
Lewis for Leader .ca/join. There we have a QR code on the screen. You can scan that, and then there's also links that are coming in the chat. So click a link, become a member right now, and join us. Join us in this fight for what we know is possible and for what we believe we deserve. And for the entire month of January, we're going all out for Avi. So we are hosting virtual national events with key figures, just like this one. The next one is going to be on the 11th of January, a full day of outreach where you can drop in whenever you're able. We're going to have a full day long outreach party on the 24th and 25th, a weekend long phone-a-thon. Um, so you'll be able to jump in and stay tuned for RSVP links coming in the chat as well. If Avi is coming to a community near you, I think that slide might be coming up next. Um, oh, sorry, Emma. For
All day
the
outreach
11th. Are you
party.
coming? Are you guys coming? Let us
We're gonna
know.
how
Are you in?
well am I in? I'm in. I mean, unless you've got me somewhere else, Savannah.
No, no, we're in.
Then I'm
We'll
in.
be in for some of the day. So let us
Excellent.
know. You guys coming? January 11th, all day. You don't have to come all day. You can come for part of the day. That's allowed as well. So let us know in the poll we just launched. Are you joining on the All Out for Avi all day outreach party on the 11th
Mm.
of January? Um, if you're not able to come to that, that's okay. There's a lot of opportunities to plug into this campaign, as well as in-person events that we're hosting throughout the month of January. So we're going to be in Victoria, Nanaimo, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and Toronto. So there's RSVP links coming up in the chat too. If that's a community that you live in or live near and you want to come, join us. Come meet Avi in person. And if we're not coming to a city that you live in currently, stay tuned because we are going to be getting Avi back out around the country in February and March as well. So please join us in person. It's going to be a really exciting month that we're going all out for Avi. We're going to sign up a bunch of members, and we are going to get a bunch of folks able to vote in this NDP leadership race. We're at a critical moment in our party's history, and I'm so excited that folks here are going to be able to join that and come out.
And Savannah, we're
Um,
still working on a few cities in between, right? Like these
we
are
are
not
working on
even
these are
even
the
in
ones.
January. There's going to be more cities added.
Yeah, these are the ones that are confirmed, and we've got a venue deposit. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
This is a
things
list
are,
of our
Now,
venue deposits, not
I have something
necessarily.
to
yes,
say about the signups. Is this the time where I say the
yes,
thing about the
it
signups?
is. It
Okay, so
is.
I am very stressed about this because I'm a last minute person. Like I
Yeah,
generally, and I know many
can
people
confirm.
who are, especially kind of when it comes, people have an ambivalent relationship to electoral politics and often are like, okay, I'm going to participate, but I'm not going to give it more time than I need to, right? So they hear that
Conventions in
the conventions at the
March,
end of March, and
lots
they
of
think, yeah,
time.
exactly. I really think most people don't understand that this deadline is coming up very soon, and what I am so worried about is finding ourselves in this moment, in February, where Avi's like picking up even more momentum, and people see a video and they're excited and they want to get involved. And they're like, yes, this is our moment. We really can take over the NDP now. We can win. We can have a progressive party that really reflects our values. And they can't join and they can't vote because if you didn't join by January 30th,
28th.
then you're not part of
28th.
this. 28th,
Yeah.
then you're not part of this decision, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we all on this call and beyond have to take it upon ourselves to do a bunch of education about not having people in that situation of real regret. Like give people the gift of not regretting that they can't participate in this decision because it really will be frustrating. And there is such a distinction, right, between you feel the momentum online, people are liking and commenting and they're excited, even donating. If they're not members, that isn't going to be reflected in the outcome. This is a vote of NDP members.
That's it.
And there's lots of NDP members who support Avi, but it is a lot tighter inside that space. So we need to sign up more people and just make sure that people really understand that's a big thing we all have to do.
Yes. And the single most effective thing that you can do if you are already a member, you signed up today, or you signed up already, is to reach out to your community. Every single one of you on this call has people that you know that are maybe they vote NDP all the time. They've never been a member. They're not super engaged in the process yet, but you are. You're here, and so the number one thing that you can do is reach out to your networks and invite them to join the NDP. So we are doing a collective outreach party right now, all together. Some big collective action.
Let's do
Uh,
it.
so we are going to do some outreach together as a group, as a community of over 700 people. So here's how this works. If you had RSVP'd and you'd already signed up for a referral link, you can get your personal referral link from the email that was sent to you. The personal referral link will allow you to join our All Out for Avi leaderboard, which is a friendly and healthy competition to see who can sign up the most friends and family members to the NDP. So you can set a recruitment goal for yourself. You can say, I've got 5 people I'm going to call, I've got 10, I've got 30, I've got 100. So set yourself a recruitment goal. You can find your personal referral link in the inbox of your email account that we would have received before this call, and send those links to your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers. Encourage them to join the NDP to vote for Avi, and you can do this over and over again between now and January 28th. In order to get as many folks signed up to the NDP as possible, so we can elect Avi as the next NDP leader. You also would have probably received a template text message that you can copy and paste to as many people as possible. You can edit that message as you see it, as you see fit, as it adapt it to whoever you're texting to, and you can tell folks what's personally exciting to you about Avi. Why are you supporting him? What is the campaign and the vision? What matters to you most? And it could be climate action, it could be Palestinian liberation and solidarity, it could be tackling affordability. So we're going to launch a Zoom poll again to see what people's recruitment goals are. So how many folks do you think you can sign up to become a member? 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, more than 25. Let us know. And we can hold you accountable to that by phoning you and asking for the 25 names. Just kidding. We won't do that. You get your own leaderboard.
um,
Um,
Savannah, can I
Yeah,
answer a couple questions from the chat? There is some confusion. Parties
sure.
in Canada are not that good at letting you know when your membership expires. It's generally annual. And so if you have joined another party to vote in that leadership contest, a provincial party or a federal party, you in the NDP is the only party that is federated. The provincial and federal wings are connected. So if you have joined the provincial NDP in the last year, you should be a member of the federal NDP. If you have joined another party to vote in their leadership contest, you should cancel if you want to join the NDP in order to vote in this leadership contest and be a member of the NDP. And you just send them an email and keep a screen grab or keep your email, in your sent box, identify it, find it, so that you can prove it if you're ever challenged. But there isn't like a formal process where you go and click this link to cancel your membership in another party. Parties just don't make it that easy. Send an email to the party if you're a member of another party and you want to vote in this leadership contest. And and don't forget that the rules for NDP membership are set by the provincial wings of the party. So in the Western provinces, membership is $10. In Ontario, it's $25. But there's always an option if you're underemployed or unemployed or living on fixed income for a $5 membership. And the age can be quite low. In some parts of the country, it's 12 or 14 years old. So think about the teens in your lives as well. Think about the high school students that you know, because it's a great way to get people involved in politics when they're in their teen years, to actually participate in a leadership campaign. Just wanted to answer some of those questions because it's always unclear, and there's stuff on our
Yeah.
website, and we got wonderful folks in the chat clarifying these things, but it's worth repeating.
Yeah.
Totally.
We're also getting a bunch
Um,
of policy questions, and um, I mean, it's a little tricky because this is an organizing call, and we're really focused on organizing. So there's going to be lots of spaces where we dig in, where Avi digs into policy.
And Theo's in there sending links and
Oh,
stuff
good,
like
good,
that.
good.
Oh yeah, we're
Thank
so
you. All right,
organized.
great.
We have
yeah.
organizers.
Great.
Speaking of organized, how are you guys going to organize to save your friends from political regret?
Mm.
So let's take a moment now. So let's do some
I'm going to
collective
my
outreach
contacts.
together.
I'm going to my
Okay.
Yeah.
contacts.
So let us know. Walk us through this, you guys. What do you guys do to get somebody to become a member? How do you decide who to text?
So basically, I go to my contacts. I've been working my way through my contacts. I have 2,500 contacts from the last 30 years. There's only 100 duplicates or so, so I really have like a lot of conflicts,
Yeah.
contacts, and not. But I also have no people from all over the world. So I'm just working my way through letter by letter. I'm going to go to the F's today. I'm going to go to the G's. So here's someone that I know that was a volunteer here in Half Moon Bay on my first run in 2021. She's now a member of local government. I'm going to send her a text right now, and I'm just going to say, hey Jay, I am running for federal leader. I know maybe you heard something. Are you a member? If not, here's a link. It's only $10
Okay.
to have a
And it's
voice
only 10
in the
bucks.
NDP leadership race.
Now, I don't like typing on my phone, so I'm going to do emails.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and just to have an email that you can personalize. It's also like a nice time, like to use the moment to just check in and be like, hoping you had a great holiday, and just wish people a happy New Year's. And maybe you notice that Avi's got a lot of momentum. We just want to make sure that everybody who's excited about Avi can actually vote for Avi. And we have this deadline coming up. Remind people that we don't want a two-party system in Canada, and there is a real risk of us sort of settling into that with the fear of coming from the U.S. And that's not the way we know that that's not the way we protect what's important to us, right? So I'll probably put a little content like that in my emails,
Nice.
but not overdo it. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what our
Okay.
people like to hear, right? Like you know what it is that the people that are in your networks will respond to. So it is good to have that message that you can just paste,
Yeah.
and then you kind of tweak it for each person.
Sometimes you can look at your contacts. You also can look at your calendar to just kind of remind yourself of people you've worked with, things, places where, I was just remembering I did this great event with Teachers for Palestine, and met a whole bunch of absolutely fantastic teachers. So I might reach out to them, and just make sure that they're buying memberships.
The
or
other
have
thing to
memberships.
think about is like people you've been in contact with recently. So in your DMs, whether no matter what hateful corporate social media platform you spend the most time on. I'm now on all of them. Or there are some cool people who are pushing our campaign to get on the Fediverse, which is like the really collective non corporate ones that Mastodon and other platforms let you onto. So wherever you are, you've got inboxes in every part of your life now. Go to your inboxes and look at the last 25 people you've been communicating with. And you've probably been talking politics with some of those people. So that's a conversation that's already started. A lot of people do it that way too. What do you do, Savannah?
I bully them. Just kidding. I do a lot of organizing. I do a lot of organizing in Toronto. I'm part of a harm reduction organizing community. We've been fighting against the closure of supervised consumption sites across Ontario for many many months now,
Thank you for that work.
and I have been organizing with folks that are already organized, thinking
Yeah.
about what are the ways that the political movement work that I do in my community connect to this campaign. What are the opportunities that an Avi-led federal NDP leadership might present to the advocacy work that matters to the people that I care about.
Hmm.
And I talk about that, and I say, I think this is an incredible opportunity for us to get some serious wins, to have issues that we care about on a national stage. And I just, something that you said once, Avi, I think it was like in an interview or something, is I have a lot of friends that are really disillusioned with electoral politics.
Yeah.
I myself, I come back and forth between dis and illusionment. But I think that's something that I really, really appreciated that you said in an interview, was that just because this system has been failing us for so long, that does not mean that we should abdicate the political space. And I use that. I frame that with the folks that are maybe a little bit hesitant to engage in electoral politics, and say, this is a real opportunity for us to have the issues that matter to us heard on a national stage. And that usually gets people thinking about or rethinking about their unwillingness to engage in electoral politics. So I try to organize people that are already organized, and identify those folks in community that are doing really, really important work. Um,
Am I
a lot
right?
of that work you speak to.
Am I right that hundreds of people are doing this right now? Are we
Hundreds
all,
of
are
people
we,
are doing this right
this
now.
is
So let
fantastic.
us,
Wow. I can't
yeah,
believe, and
Yeah.
we still have 600 people with us more.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is so great.
So I just want to say a word about hope, because I think people are talking about what it means to ask someone to join a political party for a particular project like this. And I feel an immense sense of responsibility as I've been going across the country. We have overflow crowds everywhere we go. People are so hungry for politics that actually names the villains and the challenges and the solutions that would actually work in a country that's awash in wealth. And we see people feeling hopeful again, many people for the first time in a long time. And that feels like a dangerous thing to play with. I mean, we are super serious. We're going to win this thing. That's what we're doing this for, and we're gonna have a voice in Canada that speaks loudly in this way. But it's not all or nothing when it comes to electoral politics. Change requires so much more. Change requires vigorous social movements, militant trade unions, local and community organizing on issue-based fights, on we've been talking about data centers, but there's activism around water and protecting water all across the country, and go through a list of all the vital issues. This is not a zero-sum game. This is a campaign that people are throwing down on. They're learning organizing skills. They're finding like-minded people in their communities. They're part of something exciting. And when this campaign is over, people are absolutely encouraged to go back to other kinds of activism that they're doing. We are not fighting for an NDP, which is going to be like a big vacuum to suck up all the organizing energy in Canada. We want to add to it. So when you're wondering about people joining the NDP, it's a tool. Electoral politics is one of the tools that we use to create social change. It's insufficient on its own, but it is absolutely a space, like you said, I said, which I have no memory of saying. We can't abdicate electoral politics. It's too important, but nor can we put all our eggs in that basket. So just be real with people. Say, this is something that's exciting, that's happening right now. And this isn't our whole future. We're not signing up for everything. It's $10 or it's $20. And we're having a say in the leadership race in one political party that could change the political landscape in Canada. And we're not getting married here. We're just working on a campaign.
But we
So,
are fortunate not to have a two-party system,
yeah.
and we should make the most of that.
Absolutely. So let us know in the chat. Who did you reach out to? Was it a cousin, a friend, 25 friends? Let us know in the chat how many people you were able to call or reach out to on this mass organizing call. And somebody reached out to their neighbors. Some folks have reached out to family members. It's really exciting to see. And I think, you know, it's a really important moment for us all. It's been a really, really difficult year. And I think something that's always, always true, no matter how hard the year can feel, is that we find hope and we find joy and we find solidarity. No matter how difficult things are. And I think that, you know, no matter how, like the reason that we fight for what we deserve is so that we can just all have more joy and more fun. And we're in solidarity together because we're in community together. And I think that solidarity and struggle is something that has really come up for me. So I'd love to ask the two of you to think about what you're looking forward to, what you're feeling hopeful about in 2026, and you know, let us know your hopes and resolutions for the new year.
Well, I am I'm looking forward to Avi becoming leader of the NDP. I think we need a win, you know, and we're not going to get it if we don't believe we can win, right? I deeply, deeply believe we can. But I know that this is just, as you know, an organizing challenge. So I want, you know, I'm looking forward to the win at the end of March, and then I'm looking forward to having Avi in Ottawa. You know, I'm not looking forward to not
Yeah.
seeing him ever, but I barely see him now.
I've never heard those words in that order from Naomi before. So, wow.
You know, and all of us being able to see him on the news and having these bold ideas and talking about Palestine and talking about capitalism and talking about militarism and showing that these are not marginal views. They have been marginalized, right? So I'm looking forward to, in just a few days, watching Bernie Sanders swear in Zoran Mamdani. I got to be there the night that he won, and also, you know, was part of the campaign when he was at 1%, and was able to see the hunger for transformational politics that really meets people's immediate needs, their most pressing needs, but doesn't end there, right? Yeah. That also has that soaring piece that we actually are changing the values of that govern society. So I think there's lots to look forward to. I think 2026 is going to be better than 2025, which isn't the way I felt this time last year.
I heard you say that to Toma the other day, and I was like, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I feel an odd sense of hope. That things are such a mess. And we have, you know, we're talking about a bubble bursting and a recession coming, and it's not like nothing is to celebrate in what's to come. There are definitely hard times to come, but people, I don't know, it's part of the experience of being in this campaign is finding so many people ready to organize and fight back and work together, and not in, I don't know, I feel like there's a chance for broader coalitions in the fights to come, that people are starting, like the draw the line events in the fall were really significant to me, because people in different social movements, climate justice, indigenous justice, anti-war, Palestine solidarity, were coming together, migrant rights, and saying, hey, we don't agree on every single position and every single issue, but we've got to fight together because we're all under attack. And I feel that that there's an organic kind of intersectionality that's happening in movements and in electoral politics. People are getting less picky and getting more expansive in the kind of coalitions that they're prepared to join. So I feel a great excitement about that. And I also think that it could be really exciting if we pull this off and the NDP becomes a much more forthright force for economic populism, for dealing with the everyday emergency of people just trying to get by, naming and shaming the people who are hoovering up insane amounts of wealth while people are struggling with the cost of groceries, shelter, education, communication, transportation, the basics of a dignified life are out of reach for so many people. If the NDP can be a voice that it actually channels that righteous anger into exciting solutions that redirect the wealth of our country towards taking care of people, this could be a very exciting year. And and I feel like the NDP can come roaring back. We're at an all-time low. We've got 7 valiant MPs left in the House of Commons, and we may very well have an election in the next year. We may be looking at a big debt that we have to try to retire before we can run a national campaign. There's going to be no choice but to go with this big organizing approach of distributed organizing, where we trust organizers on the ground in every riding to do their thing, and we let every riding association just flourish rather than trying to have a tightly controlled central campaign. So I think like there's going to be some mess, there's going to be some chaos, and there also is a lot of excitement in the political year to come.
Yeah. So I think doing outreach always reminds us that people are waiting for an ask. They're waiting, they're just, just asking, you shall receive. And a lot of people are feeling really overconsumed right now. So I'm wondering what other ways that folks could support our campaign. Hit the slide. Hit the donate slide.
Oh yes, donate, the donate slide. Emma's probably answering questions in the chat and now scrambling for the right button. It is. We've had an incredible run with fundraising this past week.
Yeah.
We've had day after day of smashing fundraising records on this campaign as people do their end of year donating. There is a $1,750 maximum donation. We prefer massive numbers of small donations because that's a people-powered movement, that Bernie-style mass fundraising approach that the NDP has really specialized in for a long time in Canada. But there's a new, you get these great tax credits when you donate. If you haven't donated already, you get 75% back at tax time of the first $400 of your donation. So donating $400 to our leadership campaign only costs you $100 if you haven't already used that tax credit. And if you have used the tax credit, you get a new one in like 3 days. And this leadership race does span 2025 and 2026 giving years. And so this last few days, it's a huge time for donating. People are thinking about when they have extra resources, which a lot of people don't, which I think is one of the reasons why so many people are giving their time to this campaign, because money is too much of an ask. But for people who do have resources, they're really thinking hard about where they want to give them at the end of the year. And then in the next 3 months, people have this fantastic incentive around the tax credits for political donations, and they get a fresh slate of donation limits and tax credits. So it's happening. There's ways to contribute, even if you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just in the tax credit realm, if you donate 1275, you reach the maximum tax credit of 650. So you get $650 back. You get 75% back up to $400, as Crystalia is rightly saying in the chat. So you get about $300 back if you don't. So a donation of $400 is really just a donation of $100.
It
Think
is.
about it that way. And so there's an opportunity here to get some tax credits before the end of the year. We've got a couple days left of 2025, which feels bonkers to say out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's significant tax credits available to folks as well. So hit that donate button, take a shot of this. What is it called? A QR code.
Well done.
Um,
Well done,
yeah,
Savannah.
I'm a bit of a Luddite, but I've learned QR at least.
Savannah, one thing I feel like we haven't said is this is how we fight fascism. This is that the all the disappointments that people we know feel. I say people we know because some of us didn't actually invest our hopes in Carney, but other people did.
Yeah.
But the danger of that, right, is that it swings to the hard right. And the duty in this moment is to show people across this country that there is a left alternative. There is a way to actually respond to people's righteous fury at the way they've been lied to, the way they are getting ripped off, that is not turning on the most vulnerable people in their communities. That is not going the route that we're seeing in the United States, which is terrifying, which is ugly, and which has already come here under Carney. So this is an anti-fascist campaign, and I wish you an anti-fascist New Year. And it's just a joy to be in this struggle with all of you as we rebuild the Canadian left. Shall we?
Putting a bow on it in Naomi Klein fashion. Will you do another one of these at some point? This was really good. She's so good at this. My God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year,
everyone.
everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for
Tire yourself
coming.
out.
Let's bring smoke
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, bring smoke back. Give the people what they want. Happy New
Thanks,
Year, everyone. Thank you for
Bring
everybody.
joining.
smoke
Oh.
back for every donation.
All right, we get to be a little goofy. All right, we'll
Bye,
see you out there.
everyone.
I'm going to
Thank
be
you for
doing some
coming tonight,
travel with
everyone.
Avi in the new year.